of her on weeknights. They didn't know how much I missed Jenny between times. Jenny needed me. I could tell when I read to her or fed her a bottle that she loved me best of anybody. Nobody ever felt that way about me. So I guess I wanted to be with her more and more. They got to have her all day while I was in school and all night while I worried about how she was or if they treated her right. Babysitter. They couldn't see how much more I was. Jenny wanted me with her, but they didn't try to see that. I told them they wouldn't have to pay me or anything. Just please let me take care of her. But they kept her from me even more. I listened on the phone when they told my mom that I couldn't stay with Jenny anymore. I had to bury the phone under my pillow so they wouldn't hear me cry. It came out all at once. You know how you usually build up to it? Breathe deep or sigh? But that time, it came out all at once. I didn't stop for hours. I just walked. I didn't have any friends at school or dates or anything. I didn't need that as long as I had Jenny. And Jenny needed me. Then I found out they were having a sitter Friday night. A girl I knew. I went to their house and told her that Jenny's folks wanted me to bring her to them. She said she'd have to call them, and I said, okay. But as soon as she was out of the room, I grabbed Jenny and ran out. On the way, I bought some diapers, clothes, bottles, and some of her formula. It was just going to be us. I started driving, and it didn't matter where we went, as long as Jenny was with me. Jenny, she was so good. She slept all the way. But finally, I had to stop. I cuddled up against her and fell asleep in the car. When I woke up, the sun was streaming on the windshield. But a highway patrolman was tapping on the glass. They took her from me again. They didn't know how much she needed me. They didn't understand.
I ran. I saw them coming and I was so scared I ducked in behind the building just before the two gangs reached each other. Nobody saw me. I don't think. They didn't even notice I was gone. When the fight started, I went into the building and up onto the roof. I stayed hidden, but I wedged myself where I could see what was happening. We were getting the best of it, and I felt a little better, thinking maybe I could sneak back into the group afterwards. I rubbed some dirt on myself, so it looked good. Then I saw the other gang break up and scatter in all directions, all but the one they call Scam. By the time Scam looked up, there was nothing but our jackets around her. Scam had a club, and she tried to swing her way out, but Dina just grabbed it and knocked her down. And she started kicking at them, and they held back for a second, but then Dina just started on her again. Then the others got into it too, hitting her with whatever they could find, smashing her until she quit moving. Then they just stood there. Dina started laughing at that girl on the street. And the others were laughing too. I was sick there on the roof. There were sirens everywhere. I ran for home, and right before I reached the front steps, the cop grabbed me. I told him I hadn't done anything, but they told me that I was messed up and that there was trouble waiting for me downtown. Then I shut up. It hit me. There was no way to prove I wasn't there, and I'm sure they've got Dina by now. If Dina finds out I ran, it won't matter what the cops do.
What's the rush? What's up, shorty? Excuse me? Want a mask?
Richards, Dina. Female 16. Criminal homicide. Murder. First offense.
Yeah, got it too, huh? Anybody else here?
No.
Look, they haven't done a thing, and we all stick together. I'll stick to the same story.
Is she dead?
Shut up, will you? How do I know? I don't check the pulse of those creeps. And what difference does it make anyway? We just stick together, stick to the same story. We have 3 beers in a meeting, and a fight broke out. Got it?
They won't buy that.
They will, if you start hard enough. If you don't, it won't be a lie. Have you got that?
Yeah,
Good. What if she's dead? What if somebody saw? What if somebody talks? Will they say it was all on me? All of them were in on it. All of them did it. It wasn't just me. I just hit her first. She was swinging at me. It was self-defense. She was swinging at me, but we all tried to stop her. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are those among women, and blessed the fruit of thy. Holy Mary, Mother of God, please pray for a sinner in the hour of our. Amen.
Hey, loudmouth. Got a tongue? Are you just hoping to stay quiet long enough so that they just pick you up and drop you on Mr. and Mrs. America's doorstep? And before you know it, you're on the cover of Teen Queen magazine. Well, guess what? If they don't know where you're from, they'll just put you anywhere. And anywhere is exactly like home, except for the bars on your windows and locks on your doors and your new circle of friends.
Don't you ever quit?
I'm just expanding this girl's education.
You belong in a swamp.
And you belong under one.
2 points.
Because there's always some girl that's been there longer. And you're exactly like what she had in mind.
Stop!
Shut up! Because these girls, they don't like to get their own cigarettes or wash their own clothes. They'd rather have somebody else do it for them. Of course you can say no, but it's amazing how many friends they have, how persuasive they can be. So you have a choice, a slave, or your guts on a plate maybe twice a day. You become her property. But you'll be safe. She'll take care of you, as long as you take care of her, and anybody else she wants you to take care of. Till one day, she wants the lipstick, or a blouse that someone else has. And she negotiates a trade, and you are it! So the process continues, and you have a new big sister. Until you become one yourself. If you live that long. So yeah, girl, keep your mouth shut. Make sure you embroider a sign for yourself. There's no place like home.
Girl. Who? Me? No. Her. What?
Thank you.
For what?
For, when she was calling me that name.
It's okay.
When someone does something for you, you're supposed to say thank you. I learned that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish they'd let me out of here. I've got to deliver the bags. I can't get fired. I have a hard time getting jobs.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what you're in for?
Yeah.
I wish I knew.
Burglary of a habitation.
What?
Burglary of a habitation. A house.
You didn't hurt anybody or kill anybody, did you?
Hi. They got me for burglary of a habitation. The front door was open. Weird, isn't it? It's always open. But there's a key under the doormat or in the mailbox or something. You could tell it's an old guy's place. Old books and pipes lying around. Everything dusty. He lived alone, it looked like. But I wasn't concerned about him. I had to get a couple hundred words to the fence, or else I couldn't make my connection. And I needed it. His TV was too big. It was black and white anyway. Those people never have stereos.
There wasn't much in the back either, but I knew that people that age always keep some money stashed somewhere in the place. The depression or something made them like that. I was digging through his shoes. The money's there a lot of the time. When I heard the front door open, I was stuck. He'd be blocking the hall, so I crouched down in the closet. I heard him say, "Who's there?" I quit breathing. I heard him come into the bedroom. "Who's there?" I heard his hand touch the doorknob of his closet, and I slammed against the door. But right as I was starting to get up, he was holding a gun on me. "You're just a girl. What do you want?" I was just trying to get warm. He wasn't having it. "Get up from there." I saw a cane leaning in the corner of the room. I grabbed it, smashed his hand, and snatched the gun up. A lighter. He'd been covering me with a cigarette lighter. "Okay, where is it? I know it's here somewhere in the place." He asked me why I was doing this. Just give me the money and I'll get out of here." Then he really set me back. "You want it for drugs, don't you? Well, you can't have it. Not for that." "Where is it?" He said if I was hungry, he would get me food. If I needed help, he would get me something, but just not for that. But I asked him again, "Where is it?" He said I was going to have to use that cane on him. He wasn't going to give me any money. I was really strung out by that time, and I started smashing that cane at him. He never said anything. Never yelled or anything. It was like he was the only thing between me and the king high of all time. I smashed him again, and the cops were on me. The ambulance guys were fixing him up, and the cops were trying to get a statement, but he wouldn't give one. They kept talking about how I was a junkie, how I'd beaten him up, and how they could put me away for good. But still, he wouldn't give one. Then the weirdest thing of all happened. They were taking him out, and the cops were still trying to get a statement, but he just looked at me and said, "No." She didn't know what she was doing. Not like I was crazy, but like he forgave me, because I really didn't know what I was doing. First time in my life someone ever cared about me one way or the other. And who is it? A guy just beat up! Maybe I could straighten out. Make a living or something. Maybe. I don't know. I hope that old guy's alright. I want to see him. Later. I know what I'm doing.
They're ready to process these people. Sanderson, Collins, Simpson, Grimm, Richards, Ballard, Miller, Turner, James, and Doe. Somebody will be by from DHR for you, Andy.
What about me?
They're not ready for you yet.
Why not?
You may be processed on the adult side.
Adult side? He wouldn't sign the complaint.
The old man's dead, Gene. The autopsy will determine the charge.
Miller, Gary.
Hit and run, guilty. 2 years juvenile detention, 10 years probation. James, Billy. Arson, guilty. Remanded to Children's Psychiatric Center, sentencing pending. Collins, Margaret. Sonny. Accessory to aggravated assault and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Guilty. 6 months juvenile detention. Suspended to 3 years probation. Sanderson, Jeffrey. Skip. Accused, killed in one vehicle accident while awaiting trial. Two passengers also killed. Ballo, Anne. F, shoplifting, guilty. Sentenced to 1 year of work and in local retirement home and 2 years probation. Simpson, Charlotte. Pinky. Delivery of controlled substance, guilty. Possession of a controlled substance, guilty. Carrying a prohibited weapon, guilty. Unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, guilty. Resisting arrest, guilty. Tried as an adult, sentenced to 5 years at state detention facility and 10 years adult probation. Grimes, Leo. Kidnapping, guilty. remanded to Department of Human Resources for further psychiatric testing prior to sentencing. Richard, Dina. Criminal homicide, murder, guilty. Tried as an adult, sentenced to 20 years at state detention facility. Turner, June. Voluntary manslaughter, guilty. Tried as an adult, sentenced to 5 years, state detention facility. Doe Jane. Arrest number 773, remanded to detention facility to Department of Human Resources, pending further information. Housed at Simmons County Minimum Security Juvenile Detention Facility.
When I'm not in jail, I'm really not in jail very much. I always get put with nice people. But then the police come get me, and I never really know what it's about. Somebody told me one time that it's wrong to hurt people or to kill people, and you can get put in jail or maybe even killed yourself for doing that. But I didn't hurt anybody or killed anybody, and I told them I didn't. And they kept asking me why I said that. And I said because it was true. And then this nice policeman would come in and say, "Oh, that's Andy." And I'd tell him I didn't hurt anybody or kill anybody, and he'd say, "I know, Andy. I know." I was glad he was there. I'd stay in jail for a day, maybe 2 days, and then I get taken to meet the nice new people. I don't know what happened to the nice people I was with before. Maybe they moved away while I was in jail. I had some special people a long time ago. Real special, I can't remember why. And they moved away too. Just one day I woke up and they were gone. I remember I cried a lot, I think. And I waited and they didn't come back. And then I got real hungry, so I went out behind the place where I used to live. And I found a few things to eat and a cat that I liked a lot. And then this nice lady came and talked to me, and I started to meet the nice people. The first ones. And they said that I couldn't keep the cat. And I got real sad, but the people were nice, and I was with them a long time, and I didn't go to jail or anything. But then I did, and I guess when I came back, they'd moved. I get kind of scared in jail. The people aren't always nice, and they do things to me that make me hurt. And I ask them to stop, and they won't. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 of them. And I'm strong and all, but I can't stop no 2 or 3 of them. And sometimes they have a knife, and I'm scared of it. What if the nice policeman isn't there when I tell them I didn't hurt anybody or kill anybody? They might kill me then. But I'll meet the nice people soon. Maybe tomorrow. And we'll go back to the house where I used to live, and I'll get to see the cat, and I won't go to jail or anything. Everything will be all right then. And everything will be all right.
Marler, Andrew. Gambling violation. Charges dropped. Remanded to Department of Human Resources.
Oh, wait. What about me?
Armstrong Jane, charged with spending, capital murder.
Get up